Hello, welcome to another grief share video. Today I'm going to be talking about, I guess the struggles I've been going through over the past week or so. And again, I've talked about kind of my overall struggle with what I'm going through as far as grieving. That's why I call this my grief share story. Because I feel like everybody goes through grief, and it's just good to talk about that kind of stuff, so we don't feel alone sometimes. But um, for the past, I'd say at least 7 years, I've been trying to um, grieve the loss of my family the way that I knew it to be. Um, I would say I'm grieving the loss of my mother, but it's not really. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. She hasn't passed away. I don't mean it that way. But I am having to adjust to a lot of things that I didn't know, um, or didn't realize about my parents living at home. More specifically, my mother. But I'm struggling with both my parents. Um, Mainly the abuse that I went through growing up with my mother um, really showed me who she was. When I left home, I tried to work through those things. I tried to talk to her about it, and I just could never get anywhere. And if you know anything about this kind of stuff, you know you just can't get any healing or closure from the person that's hurt you. That's just kind of how things are. But you can't help but try anyway. But so I've been going through a lot of things the past 7 years, trying to, um, if you want to say, get closure, not have to deal with the things that I um, picked up growing up when I was living at home, like nightmares and depression. And I picked up a lot of problems because of the trauma that I went through growing up. Um, so I've been trying to heal from all that. So I guess I call the past 7 years a grieving process. There's been a lot of highs and lows, and a lot of things to learn. You know, there's 5 stages of grief, and well, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people have different ideas about how many stages of grief there are, but I'm just used to the 5 stages. So I've seen myself go through the 5 stages so many times, and anyway, that's kind of what I've been going through, and overall over the past 7 years. But I still try to talk about the things that I go through weekly that are kind of more details about the struggles of grieving a family or grieving parents, grieving a mother, all those things. There's just so much to it. But more specifically, this week I've been struggling with excuse me, feeling like I'm stuck in a box. I don't know if you ever feel that way, feeling like your back is against the wall. Um, I feel that a lot of the time, and I think whether you feel it or not, we all as humans go through it. For example, um, me and my husband were talking about, some of the money struggles we've had over the past month or so, and having to not have enough money can make you feel like you're in a box. Don't get me wrong, there's the other end of it where having money when you're not ready can be a curse at the same time. But Um, I've felt like for a long time that, you know, it's it's just this feeling of being trapped in a box, not able to do what you want to do. But then that goes into, I feel like I'm trapped in a box when it comes to getting a job. You know, I just, with what I went through and what I'm going through now, I just can't handle so much stress. And there are lower stress jobs, and that's something that I've been praying for a long time. But nothing just nothing seems to work out. If it's something that I want, um, most of the time I don't even get an interview for it. But if it's something that I don't want and I know I can get an interview for it. So it's kind of feels like a trap. And then, like I was saying, there's the physical side of it where I don't have um, I don't have enough. I guess I would say patience, but I just struggle with dealing with stress, and that comes from some of the things I went through growing up. I just I would get overwhelmed by stressful things, like my mother screaming at me would be so stressful that like um, it just would come out on my body. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't work through it. It would just kind of ball up inside of me and cause problems for my body. So you know, I still deal with that. If I get stressed, I just can't cope with the stress because of what I went through in childhood, and it just tends to domino. Like I can have trouble sleeping. I can get depressed. All these things because I just don't cope well with um, the way stress hits me. I guess if you want to say it like that. Um, and then you know, I feel like sometimes when I get into conflicts in my marriage, I feel like I get put in a box because I don't know how to communicate, and I don't feel like I'm communicating effectively, and I don't feel like sometimes that I'm listened to effectively. So I feel like I'm just stuck in a box, and I don't know what to do. I feel like my back is against the wall. So there's so many times that I just feel like I'm stuck, and I just hate that feeling because I felt that sometimes in the past. You know, not knowing the way forward, not knowing a different way to handle things or a different way to approach things. And over time, it does get better and things change, but you just can't help but hate that feeling of feeling like you just are helpless. That's another big feeling when you go through these things. You just feel helpless and you don't know how to get back to a place of feeling um, like you're in control. And that may sound negative, but sometimes we do feel better when we are in charge of the situation, when we're in control, when we feel okay about the situation, when we have confidence. Um, these are things that I think we all kind of need at some point in our life to feel better about our situation. But um, you know, I think it's all fairly normal stuff. I don't want to make it sound like it's abnormal, but it just can be really hard to deal with. And it comes and goes. You know, I can't say it's anything I didn't bring on myself in some kind of way. Don't get me wrong, my family, uh, the way I was brought up, has a huge impact on the decisions I make now. But at the end of the day, I still make the decisions I do. For example, me and my husband, we have a house that needed to be fixed up, and and it needed so much repairs that we've had to constantly invest money into it. And that money takes away from something else, whether it's going out to eat or gas or something like that. So we have to make the choice to better our home or go out to eat sometimes. And it's just really hard to make that decision because, um, you want to improve your home because it's somewhere that you're at all the time, but you also want to go out and have fun. I think we all need that sometimes in life. So anyway, these are just, I think problems that everybody kind of runs into in some way or another. I'm just kind of going into some of the feelings that I tend to have with it. Um, maybe sometimes it feels harder because of what I went through growing up, but it's good to know that everybody goes through it too. So anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about this week. But if you have a grief share story, please leave it in the comments, and it'll be good to, I guess, talk about the things that we all go through together and share those kind of things. So thank you for watching and have a good day.